Hello, I'm Dan Wann, and in this video, I'm going to describe to you briefly a study conducted by myself and some colleagues, Ryan Zapalak, Rick Grieve, Ted Peets, and Julie Partridge, in which we were interested in the potential impacts of the increased legalization of sport gambling and sport wagering. Our goal was to extend past research on this area, which had found that certain types of individuals, such as those individuals who are higher in sport fandom or those persons who are more likely to have high levels of economic motivation, that is, they have a higher desire to wager on sports, these individuals in past research have been found to have particularly high levels of the likelihood of implications for if legal sport gambling becomes more readily available. For example, these individuals, those with high levels of economic motivation and those with high levels of fandom, were particularly likely to believe that the increased legalization of gambling on sport would increase their interest in sport and also perhaps their sport consumption. Given the consistencies that you find between both fantasy sport participation and gambling on sport, we decided to look at how fantasy sport participation may impact this situation. So we had approximately 1,000 individuals complete a study that assessed their level of sport fandom, their level of economic motivation, their degree of likelihood of participating in fantasy sports, and also what they believed the impact would be for them in terms of the increased awareness and availability of legalized sport gambling. The results revealed that fantasy sport participation positively predicted the likelihood to wager on sport. However, contrary to expectations, the level of fantasy sport participation did not predict an increased interest in sport or the consumption of sport. Additionally, we found that the results revealed that involvement in fantasy sport increased. Expectations were that placing a sport wager would actually increase their excitement for the event a great deal. We believe that future researchers should expand on the current investigation to include additional analyses based on the type of fantasy sport player, casual versus competitive players, and the type of fantasy sport played, such as seasonal versus daily.